Boy, has it been a minute. Safe to say, for the past month of April, I've been doing a lot of projects. I've been working on a game show, editing that said game show, getting my permit, and going out way more than usual. So it's not surprising then that I say I quit books for the past 30 days. It's been one of the weirdest challenges, especially coming from a channel all centered around writing and reading and all kinds of literature. But in my experience of taking a break from said literature, I've noticed a lot of things about books and how we translate it over into real life. I'm giving myself clarity on how I can view things much more clearly, but I've also understood that, to be perfectly honest, we need books now more than ever before. With the rise of all this social media stuff you've been seeing online, it's no surprise that we see every day that we can't read, Gen Alpha is illiterate, or something along the lines of the fact that reading books to a certain degree is performative. I remember talking with one of my friends in the past few weeks, and when I mentioned him the idea of reading books, he told me straight up, if a guy reads a book, it is considered performative. If a girl reads a book, let's be honest, it is those fantasy, weird romance novels they're probably lusting over. To a certain extent, I can kind of see it. From my own experience, I've had many friends who've read those kinds of books who are trying to either be performative or reading the weird kind of fan fiction you truly don't want to know. In this video, however, I want to discuss why books are still valuable in 2026 and why they are the single most important thing you could probably take away from this coming year. Hello, if you don't know me, I am Arnel Arcega. I'm one of the healthiest authors and writers on this platform, and if you want to personally support me and support yourself, then check out my Instagram down the top link of the description. I can help you write your own book, whether fictional or non-fiction, and improve your life for the better. Along with that, check out my other books down there as well. For now, I want to discuss why books are worth it in 2026. Where does that question even come from? And what correlates to the problems that we live in each and every day? First and foremost, we need to talk about the biggest elephant in the room. Who still reads? As I said in the intro, it's a lot of factors to talk about. We have Gen Alpha kids not being able to read, along with performative people making reading seem like this lustrous thing, especially towards guys. Let's be honest here. It's predominantly women. I don't even need the statistics, but you could look it up or see it on the screen above, that reading books is very much a feminine dominant thing, which makes sense. It's how, for most women, let's just be honest here, it's about consuming things at a slower pace compared to men who are very logical and action-oriented. But that doesn't mean it's wholly a feminine thing. As we look through history, books have been a valuable piece of information for learning, no matter what gender or sex or whatever. It's all about the way we consume media. But due to the fact that we have greater technology, our knowledge and our ability to seek books become less and less. And that issue rises in, again, the performative male idea, how people read books for the sake of seeming intelligence when we know for sure that books aren't the greatest way of maintaining or even retaining information. That may sound hypocritical coming from me, but I noticed in the past month that when separating myself from books, I'm not doing it as much for the sake of reading, but rather for the sake of experiencing things. Those who say reading books is a waste of time is the tiniest bit correct. But this is where my problem comes in. As we look through history, books had the main value of learning. It's about gaining said information. While you don't need that as much nowadays, there is a new solution with books, and one that I believe will solve humanity as we know it. And this leads into the point of Gen Alpha lacking reading. More specifically, the rise of technology. It's not a bad thing for technology to be rising over the course of time. It's a good thing, matter of fact. But when we consider how those said technology influences each and every one of us, the problems begin to rise when we notice that we attach ourselves to the screens too much, and that leads to problems such as Gen Alpha kids not being able to read. They're stuck on tablets. All of us need to start reading, for the sake of separating ourselves from the screens. While this video is on YouTube, it's a good source of allowing yourself to pick up a book such as Lord of the Flies, and more specifically, as I'll get into later in this video, fiction. What I believe books do nowadays is cultivate energy. It's cultivating this ability to maintain yourself, gain the knowledge you thought was never possible, and evolve as a person. And as a result, you become someone who desires reading for the sake of not only learning, but growing as an individual, separating oneself from the world around us, because let's face it, the world is scary. When we scroll on social media or even sometimes hear words from content creators, we feel terrified. But when we pick up a good book, that feeling evaporates. We become present in the moment. And that leads me to the second big argument of today's video. What books are used to enforce? We know that books are knowledge. They make tons of energy based on the words given. But that doesn't mean it's all going to be good. When we see people reading books such as the performative guys and girls, the problem is they always advocate for these three fields: self-help, classic, and nonfiction. I've seen so many videos talking about read classic novels, and listen, I tried, okay? I've been reading Shakespeare in the past month through my English class, along with going through old works such as Frankenstein and even something as odd as I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. They're not bad examples, but the problem is when we focus ourselves on this big psyop of what we can read, it makes reading feel like a cult to a certain extent, yes. It's like how when you're scrolling for music, you look for the most best and popular music of all time. And the problem is you're not gaining new knowledge. Instead, you're just looking at what's popular and trying to blend in. Now, granted, you should read classics. I believe stories such as 1984, Lord of the Flies, and so on are valuable stories that maintain its energy and themes to this day. But the problem is when we focus so much on these categories, we lose what we want to read. Genuinely, what do you want to read and write about? What stories do you want to consume? Think about the videos you consume on a daily basis, the TV shows you watch, or even the things that pop up on your social media. What do you want? And that, ladies and gentlemen, leads me to my biggest point of today's video. Fiction is looked down upon. It's a scary fact coming from a fiction writer myself, as I'm working in the midst of not only rewriting myself as an author, but creating a whole different story that I planned originally. I'm trying my best to understand why people read books. And the thing is, fiction for me gives me the most creative freedom. I love the ability to pick up a book with a huge world within it without the idea of having to think too hard or even just look over the words and be lost and confused. I love nonfiction for the sake of learning, but fiction, my friends, is how we can acquire more life, how we can get better experience, and how we can evolve as a person. Granted, be careful of what kind of fiction stories you read, because there are degenerate books as there are degenerate music, degenerate media, and so on. What I want you to understand is that the solution to all of this, why books are worth it in 2026, is a question you came to for this video. My answer: you decide. You decide if you want to read books, because let's be honest here, it truly is something that can be separated from the rest of the world. It's a habit that builds communities. It's a habit that builds integrity and strength, but also is something that can be put aside because, let's face it, this is small. This is the size of my hands right here, so I don't have to think too hard about it. In truth, books are, as we put it, not as important as it once was. But that doesn't mean it's a waste of time. That doesn't mean it's something you can't pick up, learn, and adapt from. What I want you to do now is to pick up a book, whether it's something you've read before or something you've been really desiring. And my point you should do is decide what you want to tell with that story. Actively talk about it, communicate about the story, tell other people what you love about it, and take inspiration of how the author writes their story. How do they tell the characters, the settings, and what should you take away from that experience? Never once I had a bad experience with a story. There are stories that are objectively bad, but I take away the value of it, what the author wants me to understand, and why I should live the life that I choose to live each and every day. And that's what you should do too, as a viewer of mine, as a fan of mine, or even just someone who loves reading and writing and wants to improve the world for the better. Thank you for watching today's video. Use this information wisely to continue inspiring others. I hope you're doing well. I know it's been a hot minute since I've been consistently recording, yes, but I'm doing better in making sure I'm getting back on track with reading and writing. As I get better, you should as well. So check out my Instagram down the top link of the description so I can personally help you improve your life for the better, as well as write your own book. I'm serious, it is possible. Check out my own books down the top link of the description to prove that fact, and I wish you the best of luck. Until next time, keep on reading, keep on writing, and take care.